got a mysterious package from bodybuilding.com. So we're gonna find out what it is. What is this? What the? Oh my gosh. Oh, what is this?
Whoa!
Whoa! What? What the heck? Oh my gosh, this is awesome! TeamBodybuilding.com, baby. Woohoo! I'm so excited! Thank you so much if you're watching this. Steve over here has the day off. And so he's gonna train me on some leggies. He hasn't really trained me for about a couple months, but when I say train, I basically mean he goes to the gym with me and just kind of pushes me and helps me when I am feeling low on energy or I just need that motivation. So today I'm definitely feeling low on energy and don't really want to go. So he's gonna go push me and it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna record it for you guys. And it's another leg day, sorry about it, but I will record a back and arm day for you guys here soon. I think on Thursday I'll be training with my friend Haley, so we'll get a good back and arm workout in. And yeah, my training right now, I'm just trying to keep my heart rate up during my lifts. And I have that photo shoot like I talked about in my last video. In about 2 weeks from tomorrow, no, 2 weeks from Thursday is when I do the photo shoot with Nevo. So I'm trying to come in a little bit tighter this time, and then yeah, I think my friend Kayla's gonna come out there with me because it's her spring break because she's still at Purdue. So yeah, it's gonna be good. But wish me luck as I head into this leg day. You ready, Steve?
I'm ready.
You got some good ideas?
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, since I got such a great response from my voiceover last time I did a video, I thought that I would do one for my leg day, since I don't think I've ever really explained my leg day fully, unless it was, you know, back in November or December. So, I have Steve come with me sometimes just for motivation and to push me and when I want to go heavy, so that's what we did today. And this first exercise, we're going to do calves. Calves to me are like my abs to my upper body. I don't train them unless I train them first, because at the end of my workout I'm just so tired and I always eventually skip my calves. So I try to start with them just like I do my core when I do upper body days. Here we have seated calf press. I did 20 reps and then I stand over the calf press machine and do 20 more reps unweighted just to burn out that muscle. These are going to be one-legged Smith machine calf raises. I like to keep a little bend in my knee just to protect my knees, and I always make sure that I am fully flexing that calf at the top of the exercise. So as you can see at the very top, I'm taking a split second to kind of squeeze that calf muscle. Also, by doing calves at the beginning of my leg workouts, they're also activated throughout my entire workout, which doesn't normally happen too much for me because I'm doing squats and leg press and all of that, which doesn't really activate your calf muscles too much like you would see when you walk up an incline on a treadmill, stuff like that. So this kind of ensures that they're activated a little bit more than if we were to just leave them alone. Here I started with squats. I worked my way up to the 45s. This is the heaviest for me. I can only get in about 4 or 5 reps 2 times for 2 sets. But I do lighter weight working up to that. So I do 2 sets of lighter weight and then I go all the way up to my heaviest weight, which is this. And with squats, I try to go past parallel. Obviously, if I'm going really heavy, it's going to be harder for me to do that. And I want to protect my back as much as possible. So I don't go really past parallel too much if I'm going heavy. This next exercise is a plie squat on a Smith machine with a little 2 pulses at the bottom of the exercise. The reason why you want to try and go past parallel is to activate your glutes a little bit more. It's actually funny, I was listening to Dr. Lane Norton's podcast, and he interviewed Brett Contreras, who is kind of known as the glute guy in this industry, and he did a study on attaching EMGs to different girls' glutes, and noticed that different exercises activate their glutes more. So he had one girl who was a power lifter whose glutes activated a little bit more doing squats and things like this, leg press, whereas the other girl's glutes activated a lot more using things like resistance bands for abductors, which I'll show you guys at the end of this. So it all depends on how your body responds to certain exercises. I would definitely keep a log, keep measurements, or use progress pictures or something like that to see how your body responds to different exercises. I would play with both things. So I would do a bunch of abductor stuff and I would do a bunch of squat stuff and kind of see the difference between how your glutes react if you are trying to build your glutes, which I'm sure most of you ladies are, because that's kind of how it is nowadays, especially if you're a bikini girl. Glutes are something that we focus on heavily for the judges. So this is how I get into my hip thrusts. This is pretty heavy for me, and what you want to do is make sure that your glutes are squeezed the entire time, and you also want to make sure that your back and spine is trying to remain neutral throughout the whole movement, and you are not putting a little sway in that tailbone towards the floor. You want to make sure that your abs and your glutes are completely activated, and making sure your spine is staying as straight as you can get it basically the whole time so you don't injure yourself or your lower back. The reason why Steve is holding me when I do these one-legged step-ups is because I can lean back, and leaning back allows me to really target that glute muscle the entire time. So my right glute is the only thing lifting me up and down. I am really using mind muscle connection in this exercise. Well, I'm using it in every exercise, but right in this particular one, I can feel my glutes working the entire time. So what you want to do, you can even use something like a rope and attach it to something like a pole, like the one behind me right there, and go up and down, really squeezing your glutes and focusing on that mind muscle connection. These burned, I did about 20 reps on each side, I believe. This next exercise is a Russian deadlift, and with Russian deadlifts, the main focus is on the hamstring and the glutes. So we kind of did a bad job at recording this. This is my last set. This is my one of my heaviest sets, and I only got like 4 or 5 reps in. I just could not do it, and I also didn't have my belt on because I just forgot about it. So yeah, this you want to basically try and squeeze with your glutes and your hams to pull that weight up, and also making sure your back is straight. And then I also added some plyos in to keep my heart rate up. This is very hard for me. If you guys try it, let me know. But it's jumping lunges and jump squats are terrible, but they're an awesome way to keep your heart rate up during your workouts. This next exercise, I am doing a nice and controlled glute kickback with the cable machine. Now there's a ton of different ways to do this, but I personally like to keep my legs straight and make sure that I squeeze all the way up and all the way down using my glutes. I know my hamstrings get a little bit of work in there, but the main focus is going to be on your glutes. Now you also want to make sure that your core is tight as well. This can also be a great core exercise for you. And then you also want to make sure that the leg that you're standing on, you want to make sure that that knee is at a slight bend, because you can really strain your knee if you keep it locked out like that. Another tip for this, I usually lean all the way forward so I'm like horizontal to the ground. This next exercise, I'm doing a lighter weight kind of RDL, and I do about 20 to 30 reps, and I go pretty slow, nice and controlled. Sometimes I hold a 2-second hold at the bottom and then slowly come to the top, but my legs were dead at the end of this workout, so I was just going straight down and trying to use my glutes and really burn them out. Another tip is at the top of this, you want to kind of do a hip thrust. So you can see me awkwardly squeeze my glutes towards the weight at the top. That's what you want to do to make sure that your glutes are fully activated throughout the entire exercise. I then did another plyo exercise, put my back leg on that bench and did a jumping Bulgarian split squat. I did 10 reps, and Steve kept reminding me of this, but you need to try and get low past parallel for you to really feel this in your glutes rather than your quads. My whole leg day today basically focused on my glutes and my hams. I feel like my quads get enough work during my sprints and my cardio right now that I want to mainly focus on my glutes and hamstrings. So if you feel like you are disproportionate in one area or one area is bigger than the other, you can always just focus on a different area. There is no strict way or textbook way to work out. It's kind of how your body is responding to your training and your nutrition. This next exercise, I usually use a stability ball instead of Steve, but when I use Steve's hands, I really can feel this a lot more in my hamstring, so I'm definitely taking advantage of him being there. As you can tell, I'm trying to keep my spine in line with my glutes, and what you want to do is squeeze all the way down and all the way up and just kind of focus on that mind-muscle connection to bring you up towards the top. And these are definitely a struggle, so if you guys do them, let me know how it goes. And the burn is so real, guys. Another thing I wanted to talk about is my rest periods. Right now I have very little rest in between my sets, and that is because I'm not doing a lot of cardio at all. So I'm trying to make sure that my heart rate is up the entire time and that I'm getting a nice good sweat in, because if I were to rest in between sets, it's completely fine, but it's just a preference for me right now. Keeping my heart rate up allows me to do less cardio, and I am trying to cut for the photo shoot in a couple weeks. These are obviously some hamstring curls, and I do about 8 or 10 reps. This is the abductor exercise I was talking to you guys about. I do about 15 pretty heavy for me, and then 20 a little bit medium weight, and then I do a burnout set really light until I can't go any longer. And I do this about 3 or 4 sets at the end of my workouts lately, at the end of my leg workouts, that is. And you know, I've been really experimenting with these. I think that my glutes have been responding pretty well. I'm still not sure whether my glutes respond better to things like squats and lunges, or things like this type of work or resistance bands. You guys should definitely consider listening to Dr. Layne Norton's podcast, his interview on the glute guy, Brett. I got a lot out of it, and I'm sure you guys will too. If you guys are interested in this leg day video, you might be interested in what Brett and Dr. Layne Norton have to say. Okay guys, just finished my leg workout and it was good. We went heavier today than I normally go because I had him to spot me, which was really nice, and kept my heart rate up. And yeah, it was good. It was about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, so it was actually pretty good for me because I'm usually there for like an hour and a half or so for leg day, so it was good. And now I'm about to drink my post-workout shake. What I have in here, I think I have protein powder, a couple handfuls of spinach, a half a frozen banana, and almond milk. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. I'm starving. You guys.